Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. This is your one-stop place for all things Star Wars, and tomorrow we have Skeleton Crew Episode 6. Today guys, we've got some wild rumours, we're gonna look at how the show is connected to Ahsoka Season 2, and then some wild leaks for the Mandalorian and Grogu. Just when I thought I was done breaking down every nook and cranny from episode 5, there is one massively important line of dialogue we haven't spoken about, and in light of a brand new wild rumour, it might have a secret connection to Ahsoka Season 2. So no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. About 20 minutes into episode 5, we're introduced to the character of Pokkit. This is someone who Jod double-crossed at one point, and as we learn she used to be part of the Bounty Hunters Guild. But then she mentions she now works for a private client, someone unnamed, someone who pays her enough that it's changed her entire financial situation. She's able to relax on Lanupa, a resort for the galaxy's richest and most affluent. No more low-rent guild jobs, but we never find out who this is. Now let's get one thing out the way, it's obviously not Brutus. After talking to Jod, she checked the pucks, and then contacted Brutus to call in Jod's bounty, but that's not her employer. It is not the private client. So, who is it? I have a couple of theories, and one of them is connected to a recent rumour. A wild rumour has emerged that Pokkit is a very important character to the Mandoverse, and not only is Kelly MacDonald playing the role in this show, she's also rumoured to appear in Ahsoka Season 2. It's just a wild rumour, take it with a massive pinch of salt, but if true, the mysterious client could be Thrawn or another remnant, and in this way, Skeleton Crew has a major connection to Ahsoka. And so the rumour says this: Kelly MacDonald will also be in Ahsoka Season 2. They say if you're familiar with Shadow Stormtroopers, well there will be a squad of Umbaran males in black Shadow Trooper armour. And while principal photography is yet to begin, they've already done some costume tests at Pinewood Studios. In a similar way to the Praetorian Guards, does a different remnant have Shadow Stormtroopers at the ready? And if this is the case, it confirms Pokkit is in fact an Umbaran. We do know resource-wise, Umbara was vital to the Empire of old. The Shadow Trooper inclusion is so perfect, and it's so on par with the Remnant's plans. We don't know which Remnant it's going to be though. Is it going to be Thrawn? I don't know, I think he's more interested in Dathomir and the Night Sister stuff. Whatever the Great Mothers created in the catacombs, but it could be one of the other ones. They were in constant conflict with one another, between Hux and the Praetorians, Moff Gideon and his cloning project before he died, the Dark Troopers, and now, I guess, Shadow Stormtroopers. They were popularized in the first Battlefront game, but their origin goes back to Legends, or should I say, the Expanded Universe, in 1979. They were also referred to as Black Hole Stormtroopers, and first appeared in Gambler's World, a Star Wars comic strip written by Russ Manning, and published just 2 years after A New Hope. These were highly trained elite stormtroopers, and successors to the clone Shadow Troopers. Imagine seeing these in live action. I'm really hoping this is true. Another very interesting theory I've seen put forward is that she's working for Boba Fett, the new daimyo of Tatooine. Maybe he's assembled his own team of bounty hunters, his own guild, and this explains her riches. Other theories about the private client involve the Hutts. Maybe she's tied to Rotta the Hutt, and that's a link to the Mandalorian and Grogu, or maybe she's working for the banking clan. In either case, my dear friends, I don't think we've seen the last of Pokkit. To my mind, it makes sense the Remnant would have other factions of stormtroopers at the ready, especially elite ones like this. In fact, in the Expanded Universe, we do know a certain Lord Shadowspawn led legions of Shadow Troopers against the New Republic, so maybe they're drawing from some of those stories. They would be a fantastic addition now that Thrawn is back. Now, in Star Wars Legends, did you know Shadow Stormtrooper's armor was made of a material called Melt Massive? A substance that was predominant in the caverns of the Shadow Base of Mindor. It possessed a unique electrochemical property that acted as a transmitter. So we're talking about an Umbaran army that's a real threat. Now you've heard me mention the Remnants quite a lot in recent days. I'm just so curious to learn what else they have up their sleeve. The kinds of bounty hunters they have at their disposal, the kinds of stormtroopers, legions of, who knows, Dathomirian clones, who knows what. So it's not too far-fetched to see how this rumour could be true. What do you guys think? I also just want to say Pokkit was added to the database of canon Star Wars characters, but they don't note her species. I've theorized she has to be an Umbaran. There are some other species fans have speculated, but to me the skin, the eyes, they're very distinctive. But across various sources, they're deliberately omitting and withholding information about her employer, her past, so there's more to come. So before we move on, and we do have some other very interesting Star Wars news, I want to address yet another very fascinating question that someone asked. Why hasn't anyone else on Tatooine, other than the parents of the children, questioned the current situation? News of this sort would have travelled quickly, especially since there are 4 missing kids, and they're worried parental figures are likely friends of other parents in the neighbourhood. So the question I've seen asked over and over again is, wouldn't have this sent red flags to other parents? Alarm bells should be ringing throughout the entire community of Tatooine. Well, the answer is simple, my dear friends. The security droids have framed the entire situation as breaking protocol, a violation of the most severe kind. It's unknown who knows what in the community, but what I can see happening is the children and their parents are seen as outcasts, the parents for allowing it to happen, and the children for breaking the code of the Great Work. The answer to this question ties into my overarching theory for how the season's gonna end. Eventually the truth is gonna come out. We're gonna go to the supervisor's tower, whether it's Captain Renaud, a remnant of some description, or my theory the supervisor died a long time ago and the droids have taken over. I think by the end, Tatooine will be liberated, the truth will spread, and maybe Tatooine becomes part of the New Republic. That's the current trajectory of how I see things going. So moving on guys, staying on the subject of Star Wars rumours, we do have some new information for the Mandalorian and Grogu. Apparently according to existing concept art for the Jon Favreau movie, Rotta the Hutt is a jacked bounty hunter. This aligns with Bespin Bulletin's reports about the appearance of Jabba's son. Not just this, in one part of the movie, he swallows Djarin and then spits him out. Some good news is Grogu is going to be a more fleshed out character and not just a prop. And the movie's going to feel much more akin to Season 1. There has been an overall sentiment, especially following Season 3. What is really left for Grogu? What do you do with him now that we know his name? Now we know who saved him from Order 66? Aside from marketing how adorable he might be, is there much intrigue left? How do you get fans excited about the character again? Well, I think there are different avenues they can go. For one thing, is he finally going to speak? Or is that going to ruin the character? Number 2, where did Kelleran Beck take him? What is Grogu's story during the Dark Times? Which hands did he pass through before ending up on Arvala 7? And also, even though he left Luke, is he going to maybe blend being a Mandalorian apprentice with the ways of the Jedi? Is there a blending of both cultures? And whether it was just coincidence or Dave Filoni thought to do this intentionally, Grogu now has a lot in common with Sabine Wren whenever she returns with Ahsoka from Peridea. Because I think the worry has been, despite his name being in the title, he's just going to be a prop. But the new rumour says he isn't, and Jon Favreau has a plan for him. So that in and of itself is really reassuring. But what do you guys think? Share your thoughts on all of today's theories, rumours and speculation. If you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.